Hello lads, and welcome back to another video. Straight away I just want to say I'm very sorry about my microphone. Hopefully I'm getting a new one soon, as I'm doing more and more commentary and videos like that. And I know that some people say that they can hear some slight feedback in the background. I'm very sorry about that. Hopefully that will be fixed soon. Now today I'm just going to be doing another Bannerlord video on the top 10 things that I want to see implemented or featured in Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord. First off, I just want to say that this video is just me discussing the things that I want to be included personally, and also what I think may be cool ideas. Be sure to let me know what you think will be some good ideas to include into Bannerlord in the comments below. Without any more of me murmuring on, I hope you guys enjoy. Number 1. Co-op campaign and co-op battles in campaign. I have been scouring and pillaging through information regarding Bannerlord for the past few days now, and I cannot find any confirmation of co-op campaign. If you have any information about this, which I'm too stupid to find, please let me know in the comments, as I would be really appreciative of getting some closure. Now, co-op campaign has been the main thing that I have been wanting in Bannerlord since I first heard about the possible release of Mount and Blade 2. I used to try and find mods for Mount and Blade Warband which allowed co-op campaign or co-op battles, but nothing arose, and it left me pretty disheartened. Co-op campaign would be absolutely beautiful. Imagine you and a friend riding round with your companions with around 90 men or more in each of your company, and then both sieging a castle together or attacking an enemy force. How awesome would that be? And it brings me on to my next point about co-op battles. I think it would be so fun for you and a friend to both set up your own individual armies on the battlefield and both attack the enemy from different angles. It would be so much more strategic and add more strategy and tactics towards the game, and also allowing 10 times more fun. However, we're unsure how this might work. What if one player goes into battle but the other one isn't in the battle? Does the game just pause and wait for the battle to finish before continuing? Or does it work like Total War, where the person not taking part in the battle can spectate, or take the role of one of the army's companions or troops? Or does the game just continue as if it was real time? We're not sure. Also, campaign movement. I'm sure you lot know how tedious and annoying it can be to ride around for hours, so we all just use control space to speed up time. Now, will both players have to agree on time speed, or is time speed just not going to be allowed? There are so many questions, but yet so many possibilities which can hinder the idea of co-op campaign, but I really hope they find a way to implement it into Bannerlord. Number 2. Formations and tactics. Now, I for one get quite annoyed at the fact in campaign that my men just form a straight line with no real formation and no real order. Yes, you can tell them to spread out and come closer, and you can even put your archers behind the men to cover the archers. And you can even download mods to make formations a slight bit better, but I find they just don't work that well. I would really like to see better formations for my men in Bannerlord. I think it would be so cool to see my infantry in a proper shield wall, and even maybe a small test judo with the shields up to cover them from arrows. I would also like to see formations for cavalry, such as wedges and diamonds, and also I know before in the old Mount of Age you could even make your cavalry dismount. Maybe when you make them dismount they then turn into infantry, which I think would be pretty cool. Also, I just don't like the fact that when you select F1 and F3 to charge your men, the cav just gets stuck behind the infantry and then they all just pile into a big blob. I think it would be nice to see flanking manoeuvres and infantry enveloping their enemy. Also, maybe getting a shield wall to advance with their shields up would be pretty cool, maybe with a chant along in the background for the audio to go with it. I think that would be so awesome. Even maybe hidden units, as it's really annoying that the AI know where every single other enemy AI is on the battlefield. I also don't like the fact that I can get on my horse with a bag of arrows and just kite the AI around and shoot at them. So, to complete my number 2, I think better formations for my men. Also orders such as shield wall and maybe even volley fire for the archers. Also formations for my cavs, and new tactics such as flanking and enveloping, and in just general smarter AI. Number 3. Companion extras. Now, I love the fact that you can have many companions in Mount and Blade, which can later serve as valuable members to your army, or vassals and lords to look after your empire and help you grow it. but I would like to see more customization towards these companions. I would like to see more missions for your companions and also more party options. It would be nice that when you are travelling, if you are low on food provisions, you can send a companion to go out hunting for the army to help you get fed on the road, instead of having to make a pit stop in a nearby city or town, which I think would not be very realistic, as you would not see a 300-man army knock up at a city's front door and just expect them to let them in to buy food. I also think, onto that point, it would be nice to see that when a large army passes near by a castle, which are maybe neutral and not friendly towards them, or even an enemy towards them, that castle will maybe send a raven, which you are able to intercept to a nearby castle, which warns them that you are close. I think that would be pretty cool, and maybe you could intercept the raven and even change the message. I think that would be pretty awesome to see, but obviously that's going into more detail into the game. I would like the companions to interact with the army, and even allow the companions to have their own little squads, which they have gotten good relations with. Maybe you can implement them and actually embed them into that specific unit type. This will maybe make those particular men fight better while their companion leader is alive, which would add more depth to the game. I would also, however, like to see betrayal and deceit. I think it would be so awesome that if you are not treating your companion right and equipping them with substantial armour, they will lose relation to you. Or even maybe if they get knocked unconscious too much in the battle, they lose respect for you and see you are an insuperior leader. I would like to see that if this happens, they not only leave your company, but also they take things with them, such as disloyal soldiers, food provisions, and also equipment and armour. Maybe also you lose honour and renown. That would be another good thing to add onto it. I think this would be such an amazing feature to add, which would make the game harder and would make you really focus on looking after your men and your companions and your party, instead of just shunning them to a side while gaining a larger force. Number 4. Shield work. Now, we have seen advanced weapon customizations and small customizations to other items in Bannerlord so far, but I would like to see massive shield customization, as back in the medieval era, the only way you could distinguish friend from foe was the shield they had or the sigil on their army or banner. Now, I think shield work would be so awesome, allowing you to customize and shape your shield to match your faction's banner. I also think things such as shield bashes would be so effective. This is used in the mod A Clash of Kings, where if you hold right click with a shield and then tap left click while your shield is still up, you can knock the enemy to the ground, and I think this would be absolutely amazing to add. Which also links back to my second point on formations and tactics. Imagine your shield wall all doing a shield push or bash at the same time, knocking all of the enemy to the ground. How cool would that look? Like done in the film Spartans 300, sorry, not Spartans 300. Also, customization such as embedding. I think it would be nice to see that you can stick a board shield in the ground and use it as cover as a permanent barricade for your shield wall, improving defense, obviously, until it's destroyed. I think another good thing to add, which I thought they might do but I'm not too sure, is stopping arrows hitting your back when a shield is on your back. In Mount and Blade Warband, shields on your back are purely for aesthetics and have no impact at all. I think if you put a shield on your back in Bannerlord, it should stop arrows and throwing weapons, but maybe have a small chance to maybe knock you over, as impact would obviously be felt by a throwing weapon if it hits your back. Of course, people in multiplayer may abuse this, however, by having a shield in hand with a shield on their back, maybe making them an unkillable turtle. This brings me on to my next point. I absolutely hate the hit borders for shields in campaign and multiplayer. You should be able to shoot straight at their feet when they have a round shield. Whale, what? When they have a round shield and it's clearly hit their foot, yet their shield still catches it. So when you hit their foot or their head with a bow, yet their shield still catches it, I think that's absolute bull. It really should hit the place that you fired at, and I really think they need to add better hit borders into Bannerlord, because this would be a huge, absolutely huge thing that would affect multiplayer. Number 5, regular and constant game updates. Now, I don't know how many of you out there who have played Mount and Blade Warband right since the release date like I did, but there were little to no updates after the game had been released. I want to see constant updates and improvements to the game as its popularity progresses. I want to see DLCs, campaign add-ons, increased missions, new weapons and armour, new companions added, etc, etc. I really don't just want them to forget about Bannerlord like they did on Warband. This is a small point to add, and I know there's a lot of new things that can be added, such as, I know the increase for Napoleonic Wars is going to be absolutely mad because everybody plays that mod, which I know anyway. Also things such as Persistent World, so there is a lot of customization and mods which can be added onto the game, which would make it really more enjoyable. But I'm not on about mods, I'm on about the game developers themselves adding new DLCs and adding new add-ons to the game. Now, this doesn't have a massive effect on the game after it's released, but I want to see them working as hard on the game as after it's released as the Payday 2 team do, releasing constant DLCs and constant updates. Of course, though, hopefully we won't have to pay for the extras. Number 6, a chance to break your weapons, shields and armour permanently. I think that when in a battling campaign and you break your shield or your horse dies, I think it's pretty stupid that it refreshes and revives instantly upon leaving the battle. I think there should be more realism to make the game harder, and I also want to see that mid-fight, if you went cheap and bought cheap armour or a cheap weapon, if you've been using it for a while, it just suddenly breaks. Making sure you have an alternative weapon or option equipped, that you have to, or maybe that you have to pick up one from the vast amount of dead bodies that you've just created. And I also think that it should have a chance for your armour to crack, dent and break, and also shields to split and break off. I think this would be such an amazing feature to add into Bannerlord, adding more realism and giving you a more sense and immersive feel to Bannerlord. Number 7, structures and defensive equipment on the battlefield. I really like the idea that when an enemy is charging at you, they have to break through some small pikes and small barricades which are going to help you defend, and things that they have to break through or even that you have to break through when attacking. Now, I'm not talking about shooting posts and small forts, as that would be stupid and unrealistic and would take too long to set up unless somebody attacked your camp which you previously set up on the campaign map. I'm talking about small but not game-changing defences. I would say the maximum thing that you would be able to build would be something like trenches, but maybe one of your companions or yourself has to have a proficiency of engineering of say 10, or maybe you have to have a shovel on your character which you have bought from a town or a city, a bit like when you are changing court in your castle and you need tools and a bolt of velvet in Mount and Blade Warband. Number 8, castle customization. When looking at a castle that you own, there are only certain things you can do, such as build a barracks, build a prison tower, recruit soldiers, manage your garrison and talk with your court. I would like to see more options, such as raising taxes, organising the castle guard, and the organisation of your army for when an attack is imminent, so you're not all just blobbed up in the same space. I think it also would be cool that you could send out members of your castle to go food collecting, so when you get sieged, the amount of time you can hold out will be for longer as your food provisions are greater. I think also it would be nice if you could add defences to your castle and strengthen your walls and doors by collecting resources. Also maybe digging a moat and adding water to it, or putting down cover for your men. Also repair might be a good idea, that if you do not have the resources to repair your walls after one assault has finished, you cannot repair that door in preparation for the next assault, you have to do with it down. Another I think would be a good option to see is that not only does the enemy have to take out the soldiers in the courtyard and on the walls of the castle, but I think it would be so epic to raid through the castle and kill the castle guard in the Lord's room and in the barracks. So you fully have to clear out the castle of all enemies instead of just the ones which have been issued to the walls. Number 9, more siege options. As you all know, in Mount and Blade Warband, when you enter a siege, you have options such as build a siege tower, entrench your position, or raise ladders, and then it allows you to lead your soldiers in an assault, send your soldiers in while you stay behind, wait until tomorrow, or in some mods, to choose who will attack the castle out of your men. Then finally, when you launch the assault, you are spawned in a pre-made siege map, which does not change ever for that particular castle. And of course, we can't forget that there is only that one fucking ladder which is just placed wrong for you to all clump up, die and fall off of. I would like to see multiple siege options, such as send a message to your vassals for aid, which obviously will take time, which the enemy may have already attacked you by then. Build additional siege equipment, and actually pick which side of the castle you will attack, to increase your entry point and also to be more realistic and give the attackers that small advantage or that small surprise when choosing where to attack. In terms of siege equipment, we have already been shown battering rams, ladders and siege towers, so I'm really excited for this, and it would be nice to see how this is implemented into the statistics of Bannerlord, such as the build time and the travel speed of the party while carrying siege equipment, or maybe the siege equipment is a unit and you need to recruit and train them, something we just don't know, or something which I've definitely not seen yet, and it would be nice to see how that's implemented into the game. Number 10. Relationships. Now there is a reason that I left this until last. It was because that I was worried you would all cringe and say I'm weird. Now please do not confuse what I mean by relationships. By relationships I mean general terms with NPCs overall. For example, in Warband, when you had a good relationship with a lord or a lady, nothing would happen really. They would just like you and think highly of you, and the lady may come to your castle after you marry. But I would like to see that if you and another lord have a good relationship together, they will send you resources and gifts such as troops, food provisions and maybe even fiefs. When I say relationships, however, I am also talking about marriage. Please remove headphones to avoid the cringe. Now I really think it would be amazing if you were actually able to have sons with your wife. Now the reason I say this is because the majority of the time when I promote someone in my party to a vassal, I lose relationship with the majority of lords just purely because he's not noble born and he's not the son of a lord. I think it would be cool to have a son which you can give fiefs to like an ordinary vassal, but you also have the reassurance that they will not turn on you, and you have high relation with them of course to start with, as you are their father. Thank you guys for watching. I just saw that my last video got 19,000 views, which is absolutely mental. Thank you guys for all the support. I did try and answer all the comments to the best of my ability and to the best of my knowledge. Please feel free to leave a comment in this video, whether you agree with my list, you disagree with my list, or you think that there should be something else added, and try and persuade me otherwise. I will get back to you as quick as I can. But anyway, thank you guys for all the support. Cheers lads, and I'll see you in the next one.